Bulgarian split squats. Do we need them, and can we live without them? Those are stupid questions! Silence! But the rabbit's right. Maybe a more appropriate question would be, what are Bulgarian split squats? And that's what I'm going to show you. Now, split squats generally are like regular squats technique-wise. And that means that the relationship between your hips and your chest stays the same. When you come down, you know what I'm saying? There's no arching of the back anywhere. Also, the relationship between your knees and your feet stays the same. So you're trying to always make sure that you're keeping your knee at 90 degrees when you bend it, and you're not jutting it past your toes. And also, it's split squats, just like regular squats, work in the sagittal plane. They move muscles that work forwards and backwards. Okay? So those are all the similarities. Now, split squats generally work the glutes more than the regular squats. And the reason for that is because split squats require that you move your legs in separate directions. So one leg stays forward, one leg stays back. Say, like, if you take the example of a lunge, right? One leg's moving back, one leg's moving forward. Now what that does is it causes a stretch on the glute that you usually don't get as much with regular squats. And that's why it targets the glutes more than regular squats would generally do. But here's the difference now with split squat, like a regular split squat, and like a lunge, and Bulgarian split squat. Bulgarian split squat requires that you raise one leg onto a platform. And what this immediately does is it changes your balance. Like, you have to balance way more. And you have to keep yourself from falling from side to side, you know? And that's the frontal plane movement is side to side. And all those muscles that are controlling your movement from side to side now have to work as well to keep you really rigid and balanced so you don't fall over. And so the Bulgarian split squat, unlike most other split squats, works two planes of movement at once, sagittal and frontal. And that's why it's really useful. Now, when you perform the Bulgarian split squat, first thing you want to do is find a platform that's around knee height, not too much lower, not too much higher, you know, for obvious reasons, because you can't get your foot up there. And when you put your foot that's being raised on the platform, you can do it in two ways. Either you can have it heel up, where the toes are just touching, or you can have it heel down, where the whole top of the foot is just resting like a little baby. Just, okay. Now, there are two ways you can perform this exercise to either target, preferentially, your quads or your glutes. If you want to get your quads, you want to make sure that you're not bringing your legs too far out, that you're keeping the distance between your two legs shorter. Not super short so that you're ruining your form, but short enough so that the weight is coming down directly onto the quad itself. And then performing from there. As you come up, you're straining all the muscles, you're flexing at the top, you're coming down, you're going as deep as you can, and coming up. Okay? So, that's how you get the quads if you're doing the Bulgarian split squat. If you want to get the glutes, now, here's two techniques you can use. One technique is this. You can bring your foot really far out so that you're stretching the glute more, and then perform the exercise. Another thing you can do is this. You can keep the shorter distance that you would for quads, but you just lean your body forward. You don't arch your back, but you lean from the hips, your whole body forward, and that will shift the weight onto the glute. It'll stretch it out more, and it will burn it up. It will light that sucker up. And now, another thing you can do is this. If you really want to work the frontal plane more than it's just being naturally worked in the exercise, you can add weight. You can actually hold weight on one side, the opposite side of, say, the leg that's on the floor, and that will, you know, destabilize you even further, which means all the inner muscles of your thighs and the outer muscles of your thighs, the little tiny ones that work in the frontal plane, have to strain way more to keep you up, right? Because otherwise you'll fall over, because your balance is so off. So you'll come down and be like, whoa, wait, you gotta keep steady. Right? So that's one thing you can do that I do a lot. That's really cool and really hard. This exercise is a really challenge because it's really challenging. Grammar, because it puts a lot of strain on your legs because it's tough, the positioning. And then also, it's hard to balance. So it's a killer if you do it, especially for the first time. It will knock you out. And then you can do it in all kinds of different ways. You can do it slow, you can do it fast. Like, a cool way to do it is to go for, like, power. Jump up and down like that. Preferably with something that won't fall over. And yeah, that's the Bulgarian split squat. And I wanted to show that to you because I think it's important. Subscribe to the channel.